Yeah, I can only think from a physical aspect. Axel hasn't played a lot of football. Tellez, both of them who did so well midweek. I can only think it's physical. Plus, this was the team who started last week and a good performance against not a great Newcastle, but yeah, that's the only reason I can think of the changes, because they were excellent midweek.
And sometimes as a manager, are you reluctant to move away from that when you've had a result like they did at Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think Ollie has started the same Premier League team on the bounce many times. So I give him an opportunity to do that. And again, even though they played so well midweek, change of shape and personnel, probably, I would imagine Axel and Tellez probably only trained yesterday, but had 2 days off their feet. So it's a huge game, and the bench looks strong. The bench looks really strong. So they've got players who can come off the bench and make an impact.
The obvious question is they've performed so well in this week in 2 away games. How did that team get to those levels at home?
Yeah, I think that's a mental thing. I mean, I attended my first game actually live at a stadium. It was very different to what I expected, actually. I watched the Chelsea Champions League game in midweek. I can now understand why home advantage isn't as important. It really does make a difference, you know, when you've got your home fans. And I think because it's a night game, because the lights are on, I think that just creates a natural atmosphere anyway. Maybe you've got slight advantage when you're at home for that type of game. But it's not easy. It's not easy, and you know, there's no signs of it abating at the moment. So they're going to have to get used to it. But you know, I think there's certainly no pressure from the crowd, so they can play the style of football they want to play. Often, if you're at home, you're expected, you're willed on, you're encouraged by your home crowd. But that's not the case at the moment. So I think both teams can play exactly how they want to play.
Chelsea team news, not unchanged as Manchester United are. 3 changes, significantly in goal from their last Premier League game, where Edouard Mendy is fit to return. A change of shape with Thiago Silva returning and Reece James as well. Kai Havertz starts again, Pulisic and Werner. It means that Ziyech still waits for his first Premier League start. He's amongst the substitutes alongside Abraham, Giroud and Mason Mount. You said you watched them in the week. What do you make about that shape and personnel from Chelsea today?
Yeah, that's the big change. Personnel-wise, it's not so different. But the shape is different, and me and Giggsy were talking before, and maybe he was expecting Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to go with 3 himself. Maybe he was thinking of maybe matching up. If you look back at the history of this fixture, the recent history, then it would suggest that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has gone to that formation, playing a back 3 himself. And I must admit, turning up here today, I thought he was going to go with the 3. But by the looks of his team, Ole's going to go with a back 4. And I just question whether this is Frank's preferred system, or whether he was just trying to match up with what he expected Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to do.
Fascinating. We'll get into that in a moment after we've heard the pre-match views of the Manchester United boss, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Ollie, before you selected your starting 11, you changed things around. You stayed in a hotel here last night. Will you only know after the game whether it helped?
Yeah, of course. It's just something that we wanted to do this time. We want to keep everyone together. Of course, we've travelled as well this week. The atmosphere has been good, so we just kept it going.
2 good results, 2 excellent victories. You've gone with the same team at Newcastle. What made you decide to do that?
Well, sometimes you know you have to reward players who play well, and there's a few players there that really deserve to be in the team. And then this setup was the best we felt against the team that we thought was going to be as it was.
Did you ever contemplate changing it to 3 at the back like it was in midweek?
Of course, yeah, you do. You go through different scenarios, because the team that played in Paris was also deserved to play again. But then, of course, Anthony's suspended, so we had to change a little bit anyway.
Edison Cavani on the bench. Are you hoping he's involved today, or is it match dependent?
Yeah, of course it's match dependent. Every substitute is match dependent, but I hope to get him on the pitch in a comfortable position. If not, if it's a precarious situation, of course he'll be a threat coming off the bench because he's looked really good in training.
And is it very simple? You simply need to get going at home.
Yeah, well, we think so. And if you get 3 points today, you look at the position. We've got a game in hand, and then suddenly it's not that bad. You know, this league now at the moment is throwing up different strange results, and it's up for grabs. So we need to just hang in there.
So lots of talks about systems. It's Chelsea with a back three today. Manchester United's record in their last 11 matches in all competitions with that has been fairly successful. As you can see, they've won 7 of their last 11, and they've lost only 2 of those. Of course, one of them against Chelsea. Where are you on that back three, back four situation? You heard Ollie say there that he did think long and hard about playing a back three today.
Yeah, I think with Tellez now, they've got a real wing back. Luke, not so sure. I think Luke Shaw could be that left centre half and suit that position because he can get out to the wide areas where he's comfortable and defend that. But that, you need it. Obviously, we've seen it with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Robertson. The goals that they produce, you really need that bit extra when you're further up the pitch. But he plays it in the big games and also matching someone up if they also play in a three. But I mean, Ollie said that he thinks that the team played last week deserved to go again, which is fair enough, and they'll be fresh. There's a lot of freshness coming into the team as well.
Steve, I thought there, just that graphic, if you one game they've gone to a three at home, the rest of them are all away from home. The other thing I took from that graphic is that the standard of teams that they go three at the back against. It's all, of course, there's a Tranmere in there and things like that in the club. I know you support Tranmere, so I don't want to have a go at them too much. But in general, they're very good teams that they played against and away from home. So that would tell me that it's when he's going to stop opponents as well. He's a little bit nervous, let's say.
But in the last 3 games
against Chelsea. Yeah, that's right. And they have a lot of players that play in that number 10 position. They've got a lot of flair players. So my take on it is when Ollie gets a bit nervous, when he thinks he's going to be really under the cosh, when he's not going to have possession, I think that's when he starts thinking of playing the three at the back.
Interesting. Okay, when we come back, we'll have a look at Chelsea, and in particular, their German scorer who's got firing, and we'll hear about Frank Lampard, about his team selection too. It's back where it all began for Frank Lampard as Chelsea manager today at Old Trafford. He's hoping for a distinctly better result. Let's get his pre-match thoughts.
Frank obviously had a game in midweek. How do you assess your form coming into this?
We're doing okay. We can do better, without a doubt. Early season for us, I think we're seeing it across the league that there are teams trying to find form. I think we're one of those. But I'm pretty happy the result in midweek was good for us because you saw a team that was solid, that had a clean sheet, which is what we've been striving for in recent games. And I'm happy. But we can do better.
How much is it a case of building on that? Because away from home, scoring goals hasn't been a problem for you, has it?
No, scoring goals hasn't been a problem all season, but we know we're coming to a very good team that give us different problems. So we have to get both sides of our game right, as normally you would do, and respect the opposition, but come here with a bravery in the way we play. We've got players that are finding fitness, that are finding each other, are making relationships through the team. So I expect a progression of that.
They've lost both their opening games at home. Is this a good time to play them?
I don't know. I don't know. You know, that can work both ways in a way. We don't have fans here. I don't think anyone's so sure how it's affecting the game, but it seems to be affecting the game at the moment. And then you look at the results they've had since international break. They've had 2 wins and a very good win in midweek for their confidence. So they're a good team. I don't expect that to change because of their last 2 home results.
What have you got to do today to get all 3 points?
Play with a real organisation, which, as I said, I think we found in midweek against a very good Seville team. And some of the personalities and the personnel in there was strong. We need to build on that, but also be confident. We come here with players who we know can give Manchester United a problem, can give any team a problem, and they're finding their feet, and I believe they really will find their feet, but we have to be confident in that fact coming to win the game.
One man finding his feet, of course, getting off the Premier League mark last weekend at home to Southampton. Those couple of goals is Timo Werner. Only Ronaldo, Immobile and Lewandowski scored more goals than him in all of last season across 5 European leagues. Michael, you've had a good look at him now in the first 5 or 6 games. What particularly does he offer Chelsea they didn't have?
Well, you mentioned those stats, Steve, and you can see why. I mean, he's a player that plays on the shoulder. He's constantly looking to get in behind. Even when he plays the odd ball like that, he links play very occasionally, but then he's into the box and he's trying to get on the end of it. No question, he's a goal scorer. You know, again, he finds his position. He gives the centre-half a bit of a problem, but he's always, in the end, thinking about last line of the defence. He's so quick as well. You know, all these clips are very similar. He's almost pointing to where he wants it. He's always thinking of where's the space. This is great. He's aware of what's happening. He knows the space in behind. He takes a little look over his shoulder to see where centre-half or the centre-half is, and then he spins. And again, it's almost like a one-track mind. He's so focused on scoring goals. Again, here, this is a move that I think Chelsea do quite a lot. It comes from the right back, and then Kovacic, not Kovacic, it's Jorginho plays that type of ball. He did it against Watford last season. He did it again here. And the finish is brilliant as well. It's a real centre-forwards finish. A lot of people just thinking lob it over the goalkeeper then. But if he had, it would have been cleared by the centre-half. So he's got the coolness as well, the real centre-forwards coolness to dink it over him, but he realises it's a 2-touch finish instead of panicking and thinking he's got to do it in one. Very impressed so far. And I just think that, you know, against Lindelof and Maguire today, that could be very, very interesting. If they push high at all, he is going to really exploit those gaps in behind.
That was my next question. Is there a concern for Lindelof and Maguire with that guy now?
Yeah, there will be. I mean, it's your worst nightmare as a defender, you know, a player who constantly wants to penetrate, who wants to run in behind. I just wonder if Chelsea have got the midfielders. We've seen Jorginho there with that sort of not even looking, just playing it in the space. So Maguire and Lindelof have to be ready for that. And also the lads in midfield need to close down so they're not producing them passes. I wonder if Chelsea have got that without, you know, I think Mason Mount can do it, but have they got their midfielders who constantly play that ball in behind?
So many fascinating subplots. It is Manchester United, Chelsea. After all, these clashes are never dull. They're often pivotal as well. And today is not different at all. Kick off at Old Trafford in the rain is next.